What's going on, tech heads? This is Josh here with Techtopia TV, and today's video is going to be about the STRAFE RGB from Corsair. When we open the box, the first thing you'll notice is the wrist rest. Next, we have the FPS and MOBA keys with the key puller, the instructional guide with the warranty information, and last but not least, the keyboard itself. Alright, so the STRAFE RGB from Corsair has got to be the nicest mechanical keyboard that I've purchased for myself. I did another video on the Corsair, man, what was it called? The K70 RGB Rapid Fire. That one there was owned by my buddy. Thank you again to Justin for lending me that keyboard for a video. But that one is a little higher end than this one. This one is kind of mid-range. It's still pricey. I mean, it's definitely not cheap by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not as expensive as the Rapid Fire or even the Platinum, of course. So anyhow, this keyboard is very well made though. It is very sturdy. I've tried flexing it. It doesn't flex in the slightest. I believe it has an aluminum frame. The RGB, the LEDs in the keys themselves are extremely bright. Very, very nice. I don't have a single key that is dimmer than any other key, which is a good sign. The wrist rest is really, really nice. It has a nice feel to it. I really like it. It doesn't irritate or bother my wrists at all while typing, which is a good thing. What else can I really say about it other than that it is an amazing board? I really like typing on it. I don't have any other qualms other than the space bar, which is the exact same issue I had with the K70 RGB Rapid Fire. The texturing, that diamond plate texturing or whatever it is on the space bar drives me absolutely insane with my thumb. I don't know why. My buddy mentioned, I was talking with him last night about it actually, and I mentioned it to him, and he said that he kind of got used to it and doesn't even really notice it anymore. So I'm really kind of hoping that's what happens to me, because right now it just drives me up a wall with that texture. Whenever I hit it with my thumb kind of slides across the space bar and it just drives me crazy. But other than that, the keyboard is extremely well made. It is nice. The one thing I wish they would have done is included a braided cable for the cabling that goes to the back. It does have two USB cables inside of it, one to power the laptop and for all the macros and everything for the laptop itself. And then it has another one because it has a USB 3.0 pass-through on the keyboard itself, which is nice. I don't really use it for anything other than plugging in my Xbox One controller for whenever I'm playing like Rocket League or Grand Theft Auto 5 or any other game that requires a controller, but it is nice that they included it. The cable itself is just a rubber cable. It looks like a power cable to like a PSU or something, if I can try to describe it in any way that you might understand. It's just a simple cable. Now the connectors on the end are extremely rugged. They're very nice. The only thing that I'm happy that they're in the back of the system where nobody can see them because they're on a god-awful yellow color, but whatever. No big deal there. It has this white paint underneath, or a white inlay, I guess you could say, underneath the keys, which really helps for the brightness. The lights come through the clear keys, the clear housings for the keys, and it also shines off of that white inlay, which reflects the color up better. So it's real bright and real vibrant. Now, with the keys on this keyboard are the MX Silence. Now, the thing about the Silence is it's like a newer key from Cherry, and it's essentially a red key because it has the 45 CN pressure for actuation. It is essentially a red key with basically if you put an O-ring on a red switch. That's literally what it is. It has its own form of dampening built into the switch to where it's not as loud and not as clicky clacky. It doesn't bottom out. Some people said it feels mushy. I seem to notice that I type way better on a dome keyboard just because that's what I use at work. And when I'm typing up tickets all day long, I mean, I'm probably typing easily tens of thousands of words every single day, if not 100,000 words every single day at work for writing up tickets and everything. And so 99.9% of my typing is on a dome keyboard because that's what they give us. It's just a Dell dome keyboard. And I seem to type way faster on that. Now these silents are definitely quiet. I put it up side by side to my CM Storm quickfire that I have over here. It's a 10 keyless board. It's the very first mechanical board I ever bought. I still love that keyboard. It's a brown switch with O-rings because I bottomed out that keyboard so bad in the past that I looked up on the ways that I could try to prevent that from happening, because it wasn't the noise of the key that was bothering me. It was the clack, 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 clack from the key bottoming out on the board. So then I found out and started reading about O-rings. So I bought a pack of O-rings. I O-ringed the entire board myself. I think I did a video on that, as a matter of fact, a long time ago. And the keyboard was much, much better. So I put that keyboard up against this keyboard just for the audio, just for audio's sake. So that way you can kind of get an idea. So I'll let you hear that now. So as you can see, the MX Silent is pretty quiet. I mean, it still has key noise, obviously. You're still gonna get some of that chatter from the key. I mean, you're not gonna get away from that, but it's definitely quieter than the brown with the O-ring. I did notice that I type faster with the Quickfire Rapid that I had before, but than I do with this keyboard here, but I think that's just because this is a new keyboard. I was talking with my buddy about it, and it seems like the spacing is just weird on these keys. It should be normal spacing, but for whatever reason, it just feels like the keys, maybe it's the surface area of the actual keycap, but it just seems like they're like spaced out slightly different, or like the top of the key is smaller than what those keys are. And they definitely do look smaller from just like glancing at them. So maybe that's it. I'm sure I'll get much, much faster as I start using this keyboard more, and it'll be a lot better after that. Up here in the top right corner, you have the Corsair name, the brand up here, and then you have the number lock, the caps lock, and the scroll lock indicators. You have the brightness button, which if you press the brightness button, obviously it cycles through the brightness and then it turns it all the way off, so that way you don't have any light whatsoever. Then you have the Windows lock key. Now the Windows lock key, as I'll show you in the software in a little bit, the Windows lock key, basically it locks you from hitting the Windows key while you're gaming. It's that simple. Now it defaults to blue being enabled, like the Windows key is not working, and red as the Windows key is working. Now me being a gun guy, red means fire, red means that you're armed and ready. So I switched mine, which you can do in the software, thankfully, and I switched mine out to where red means that it's actually active and the Windows key is locked, and blue means that it's just you can hit the Windows key. But you can change the colors and everything else in the software, which again I'll go over later. This is the same lighting system that is used in the K70 Rapid Fire. So it's, again, extremely bright, extremely vibrant. I really love the colors on it, and it's all good. I don't have any problems with it. It's got like a white paint on the sides, kind of makes it look a little nicer. Like I said, the wrist rest is great. It clips right on just like all the other Corsair keyboards do. And other than that, it's an amazing board. So let's hop over to the software and I'll show you the software side. All right, so here we are in the Corsair utility engine. Now this is where you come to set up your keyboard, your mouse, your headset, anything that you need to set up as far as Corsair and their RGB. So first we have the actions. In the actions area, this is where you set up macros, any kind of macros that you need to set up, you can do in here. If you know about macros, then you already know about macros. I'm not gonna walk through on how to set up macros. We can save that for a completely different video, but this is where you would set up the macros if you wanted macros. So we'll go straight into the lighting. Now the lighting here, basically the way that this is set up is you have a bunch of different choices that you can choose from. So of course the default is the spiral rainbow. Then you have the rainbow wave where it kind of cycles from bottom to top through all the different colors. You can change your speed, you can change the direction if you want to go from bottom to top or top to bottom versus bottom to top. You can go to visor, which will shoot random colors, or you can alternate the colors and you can pick which colors you want to alternate between, and it'll just keep zipping back and forth. And again, you can speed it up if you want to go fast, or you can slow it down if you want it to go slow. On to the next one is rain, this is probably one of my favorite ones. It's pretty interesting to see. You can alternate colors. If you want it to just be two different colors, you could have it bounce back and forth between those, or you can do random colors and it will do exactly what you're seeing now. Color shift, which is essentially just where it switches from color to color to color. So it's pretty simplistic. You can speed it up, you can set it to fast, you can set it to medium, or you can set it to slow. Slow takes forever to go between colors. So I usually keep it on fast if I'm on that one. Color pulse is like a breathing effect. Every single time it breathes and lights up, it changes color. So it will show you a different color every single time it comes up. Color wave. This one here is similar to the visor, except for it doesn't bounce back and forth. It just goes across, and as it ends on one side, it's already starting on the next. So you can kind of see that it's doing a lot more than just, oh, one color across and then another color across. It's actually doing two different colors at once as it ends on the other end of the keyboard, which is kind of cool. Then you have the type lighting key. And what this does is it basically just lights up whatever key that you're pressing and it will slowly fade away. Now you can have it to where it holds out a longer period of time, so it'll take a little while longer, or you can have it to where it's short. So it's like, as you're typing, it'll fade out like so. Then the next one is the type lighting ripple. So this is where it ripples out from the key that you pressed, which this one's probably the funnest, but it might be kind of distracting as well, depending on who you are and how your ADD is. So the Void Playback Visualizer and the Void Microphone Visualizer, I believe that these work with the Void wireless headset. Now what this does is it works in tandem with that headset, and it will play, or it'll flash with the music that you're listening to through the headset, or it will light up certain ways with the microphone that as you're speaking through the microphone, which I don't have that headset, so I can't really test that feature out. The next one is a static color. Now static color is exactly what you would think it is. You can change the opacity, so that way you can make it really like where it's not even on, all the way up to as bright as possible. You can change it to all red, yellow, green, light blue, dark blue, purple. So you can change all this. So have it exactly the way that you want it to be. If you really wanted to, you could use the color wheel here and make like a, a truly custom color if you wanted it to be that way. That's all fine and well. Pretty nice though that they actually give you that option to where you can just have it set as one color, so it's not kind of bothering you in any way. So on to the next thing is performance. Now the performance is what I was talking about as far as these buttons up here, the lock and all that. So the lock indicator color, like I said, you can change it to where it's on. I have it set to where it's on, so it's red, and then light blue when it's off. You can change it and set it whatever color you want. The brightness indicator light, you can set that to, you know, whatever color you want. I'm just gonna leave it the way that it is. Here you can say, like I said, when the Windows lock is on, it will disable the Alt Tab key, Alt F4 key. By default, it's only disable Windows key. So you can have it to where it automatically disables these other 3 key combinations as well. So all in all, the software is pretty basic. It's really simple. You can definitely do a lot of things with it if you really wanted to. Like, I believe that there's a way. Let me see if I can find it. You can actually select certain keys. So like if I wanted W, you can hold down Control. So WASD, we'll have it be red. There you go. So that way, you know, it's my gaming keyboard or whatever. So I want, you know, if I'm playing an FPS game, I can have all these set up. You can come up here and select all these as well, make all those red. So that means that those are all the keys that you'll be using in like Counter-Strike or whatever to switch between guns. You can come over here and select the number keypad and make that all one color. Versus somewhere else. So you can definitely do all sorts of crazy things with it and make it truly yours. So it's really cool that they gave you that option to be able to do that. All right, so you can see that my qualms about the keyboard are mostly the software. I mean, the software is great. You can control and do everything that you need it to do. That's fine. But again, just like I said with the rapid fire, it's like with Corsair Link, for if you have a cooler with Corsair, like a water cooler, like the H110 GT or H100, you have a Corsair Link software for that, and then you have the Corsair Utility Engine, or Q. And I don't see the need to have 2 separate programs down in my system tray running at once, taking up resources. I don't understand why Corsair did that, why they didn't just put it all into one software. You can control and see your temperatures and go ahead and control your mouse, keyboard, and headset and mouse pad. I don't understand what they were thinking with having 2 separate softwares, but I guess it's not a humongous deal because apparently not enough people have complained about it to where they went ahead and changed it and fixed it. So anyhow, overall, since this is basically the conclusion of the video, I would have to say I give the keyboard a 9 out of 10. I really do love it. If it had the braided cable, it'd probably be a 10 out of 10. But the cable's fine. It hasn't really caused any issues. It just kind of runs behind my desk, so it's not a big deal. But it would have been nice if they would have included it for the price of the keyboard. It's really not that difficult to put some braided cabling. But anyway, other than that, the keyboard is amazing. So if you were looking at getting it, I would definitely recommend it, and it will definitely be my daily driver from here on out. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, share this video if you feel like it's worthy of being shared, and I'll see you in the next one.